Peace, what's going on, everybody? This is kind of just like a continuation of the Venus and Pisces video I just did. However, this video is going to be geared toward the transit that's happening right now at this second, which is the moon going into Taurus. So this is actually a very key point that I forgot to bring up in the previous video. The moon is going to be going into Taurus this afternoon. Now, these next 2 days, because the moon stays in the sign for 2 days, these next 2 days, we're going to have Venus exalted in Pisces and the moon exalted in the sign of Taurus, okay? So let me just give a brief rundown of what the moon in Taurus represents. So the moon deals with your internal emotions. It deals with your intuitive side. It deals with your nurturing side. It deals with your emotions, how you feel on the inside. Basically, in the sense, your truest self. Now, when the moon goes into Taurus, the moon is exalted, like I said. So the moon is on its highest horse. It is essentially on its throne. So when we're dealing with emotions, this is the highest peak of emotions. You know what I'm saying? So a moon in Taurus person is very sensual. They are very much tapped into their senses and very much so how they feel. But at the same time, this could also lead into some overreacting energy also. Like, I could just give you an example. I'm on my break at work right now, and I had an overreactive kind of situation that didn't go too far off the deep end because I had control over myself, but that energy was an example of some moon and Taurus tendencies, which is overreacting because the moon is exalted. So it could push out too much of that energy when it comes to reacting, emotions, expressing your emotions, crying, and just not, the negative side of moon and Taurus is just not having emotional stability within yourself. Now, with Venus being exalted in Pisces, Pisces deals with mutable water, and Venus is exalted there. So Venus deals with love, value, and it deals with beauty and artistic values, and it also deals with sensations. Actually, this is a good connection because the moon being in Taurus, the moon being exalted, which Venus rules the sign of Taurus, this is actually a great energy with the moon sextiling Venus in Pisces, because that is the alignment of what's going on with the moon in Pisces, especially since Venus is at 0 degrees Pisces and the moon is at 0 degrees Taurus. So this is a straight up sextile energy. Positive flow of energy when it comes to being able to express your artistic ideas, to be able to express your love in an extreme way. So let me just give you some examples of what this energy could represent for the next 2 days. You could overreact to something that means very much to you as far as what you value. So, you know, your value systems can deal with your moral systems too. So especially since we're dealing with Pisces, which Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. Now, the moon is going to give Venus that ability to be able to express extreme bouts of love and unconditional love to people and to your own self too. Now, on the negative end of this energy, you could express too much. You could express too much of how you feel to where you're giving out too much of yourself. You're giving out too much of who you are, especially when it's coming to your emotions, because your emotions is the most sensitive side of yourself. This is how you feel. You don't show this to everybody in the world. So there could be a energy where this is easily accessible. You're able to easily, with confidence, express how you feel about somebody, a person, place, or thing. But depending on how much energy you put into that, you could go overboard, because Venus and the moon are both exalted right now. So you could just be pouring out all of yourself into a person, a place, or a thing, and then end up not getting anything back in return. Now, some people are just selfless, so they could be fine without getting anything in return. But for a lot of people, this is exhausting because you literally get nothing in return. No positive reciprocation, no positive energy, no grateful gratitude energy, just straight up people just using you. So you got to be very careful with this particular transit these next 2 days, with the moon being in Taurus and Venus being in Pisces. Now, Venus is going to be in Pisces for about a month or two now. So we're going to be dealing with this energy for a little while. But when it comes to the moon being in Taurus, with this energy, this sextile energy, we got to be aware of that. Now, as far as just the moon in general, like I said, we're going to be feeling extreme when it comes to our value system, because Taurus deals with our value system. The seeds that we plant, so if you plant bad seeds, this is a metaphor for thinking bad thoughts or constantly being negative. So what you think, you eventually manifest in the physical. But if you plant good seeds, this is positive thoughts. So with the moon being in Taurus, this is a great time to plant seeds in a lot of different ways, because that energy is of high magnitude right now and it's easily accessible. So if you put positive thoughts and put positive energy into the universe with the moon being in Taurus, once the moon goes into Gemini, now these energies are going to be able to manifest themselves physically. And also, this is going to be a great time for you to be able to communicate these seeds that you planted too. These positive thoughts will now turn into positive conversations, which will just further build along as the moon progresses through the signs. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, get ready to go back into the shift, and I will catch y'all later. All right, peace.